Visit app.seesaw.me to get to the login screen for Seesaw. Choose I'm a teacher and log in with your Google account. Once you are logged in, choose the class that you are working on. Once you're in your class, Seesaw has a wonderful variety of multimedia tools that are available for both teachers and students. Teachers can use these tools in their activities and in their announcements, and students can use these tools in their journal to add work or to respond to an activity. No matter where you access the multimedia tools, they will all work in the same way. So let's take a look at these tools from the activity view. I'm going to create a new activity so we can explore each tool. Remember, when creating an activity, you can use the multimedia tools for instructions and examples, as well as to add a student template. Just remember, if you're adding as an example or instructions, students will be able to view, not interact. If you add as a template, students will be able to use the multimedia tools to interact and edit your template. So let's start by looking at the tools to create instructions. We're going to start by looking at the drawing tool here in the middle because it brings several of the tools together. In a drawing to start with, you can use the pencil tools and the eraser at the bottom to write out problems onto your whiteboard. You can also change the colors using the color slide along the side. You can add text to your paper and move objects around. You can also take a picture using your webcam or upload a file and it will add it right to your drawing. You can also choose from a variety of shapes to add to your drawing, or put in a colored background or a lined paper background. Along the side, I can also add a page and have a new whiteboard for my drawings. One of the last tools we can use is over here is this voice recording tool. What this does is it lets you record your voice while you are drawing, so students can explain their thinking while they solve a math problem. So for example, we're going to start our recording, and I can use the pencil tool to write out 2 plus 2 equals, and I can talk through how I would solve this problem and find the solution and click done when I'm finished. Now this page is like a video and students can watch it as I solve this example problem. If this is what you want to keep, you would click on the check mark, and this is the instruction that you could add to your activity. Let's look at some of the other tools. The photo tool works just the same as in the drawing, where you can take a photo with your webcam, and now it's going to overlay the drawing tools on top. So everything we just did in drawing, you can now do on top of your photo. Again, I can click the check to keep this as my example, or I can delete and try a different tool. Let's look at video. Video does just what it says. It allows you to do a recording, and you can record yourself explaining your directions to your students. You can show things in your screen, and when you're done, you can click the pause button, click done. You can review your video, make sure it has what you want, and you can also add a caption to tell your students a little bit more. If this is what I want, I click the green check. Otherwise, I'm going to go back to my options. Upload a file allows you to upload something from your computer for your students to view. You can find it on your computer or you can drag and drop. So I can find a worksheet. I can add it here, and again, I'm working as an example. So this is what students are going to see. So if I wanted to walk them through what I expect them to do, I can turn on my recording tool, start my recording, and I can tell the students, when you get in here, you are going to solve each math problem using your pencil tool. So let's look at the first one, 1 plus 3. Well, 1 balloon plus 3 balloons, I can count on 1, 2, 3, 4 balloons, and I can draw the number 4. And I can give my students directions of what they can do. So when they click on this, they can actually watch me solving the worksheet. And then under the student templates, they can open up the worksheet and actually solve it themselves. Again, the plus to show that as your example, or the trash to delete and look at the rest. The note tool is very simple. It just allows you to write out more text, so you can write out your note to your students. But along with that, you also have the recording tool, so you can talk over your writing and your students can read it and see it. Again, green check or go back. And the last tool that we have is the link. And the link allows you to link to an outside file. So if I wanted my students to watch this video on internet safety, I can put in this Brain Pop link and attach it. I can give my students directions by using the record or caption tool, telling them how to get to this link so that they can see it. And if this is what I decide to go with, again, I can click the check mark and that will attach it as part of my instructions. Now, the instructions again are different from the template. I still use all the tools in the exact same way, but anything that I make as a template for my students, they're going to actually be able to work over. So if I were to take a photo and share it with my students, when they get that photo, they'll be able to edit it just like I was able to edit or write over it. If I get the drawing tool, I can actually make multiple pages with different math problems, share it out to my students, and they will be able to write right over top of my problem. So if I go ahead and put in all of the math problems on here, when my students open this up as their activity, they can use the recording tool and the pens and pencils to solve each problem. The video tool, if I record a video of myself, for the students, when they watch that video, if this is the template for them, they can respond to the video by leaving a caption. So again, they can either type a caption or they can write a caption. The upload tool, again, as we saw before, I can pick a worksheet from my computer, upload this for my students, and when they open it, it will look like this in the drawing tool, and they can go ahead and solve each of these problems and turn it in. So no printing is required in order to do a worksheet in Seesaw. For the note tool, just like before, I would write my note and students can actually edit my note. So if I come in, I could type up my morning message and make mistakes and then send it to my students, and they can go in and actually edit my note and fix my mistakes. And lastly is that link tool. So again, if I send a link to the students, the way they would be able to respond is they can leave one of the recorded captions or they can leave a text caption. Again, I can also leave the student template blank. So when a student opens up the activity, they will see all of these as their choices to respond, but they're going to be blank. So they could upload a file from their computer and share it with me, or take a photo of themselves, or create a new drawing, or record themselves in video, write me a note, or link to an outside file like a Google Doc. So you have two options. You can either attach a student template and the students will get to interact with it, or leave it blank and the students can do whatever they would like. And of course, when you're done, right, if you're in an activity, you would save your activity for students to see. So using the multimedia tools really makes it possible to do just about anything you can think of through Seesaw.